How can we change these state laws and protect these land? These are thousands of landowners like me with our family farm who don't want this gas. We have no, it would not be in this state. It's not for our common good. He asked about Dominion. We know that you've taken money from Dominion. How can you protect our rural communities from dirty energy that's only going to bring dirty jobs? We want clean energy and clean jobs.
Well, let me make a couple of points first. One of the reasons that I went into politics back in 2007 was because I grew up on the Eastern Shore. The Chesapeake Bay was literally my backyard rather. So I have fought during my 10 years of being in Richmond to be a good steward of our environment. I just mentioned earlier offshore drilling, which I've always opposed. I have opposed fracking in the Commonwealth of Virginia. I have gone against uranium mining. So all of these things, I hope you will look at my environmental record. Let's talk about the pipeline.
Yes.
First of all, you mentioned eminent domain. I grew up on a farm. I am very sensitive to eminent domain laws, and those laws actually were strengthened while I was in the Senate, and I supported those laws. Because before then, a lot of government agencies, whatever, could go in and take land, and it wasn't fair. And so those are a lot stronger than they used to be. And I would tell you the answer, how do you deal with eminent domain, is there will be a lot of litigation over this pipeline regarding property rights. So that's one thing. The second thing that I think is important is we need to make sure that if that pipeline moves forward, that it's done with transparency and it's done with science. And I hope you will go back, and I can provide you a copy of the letter if you would like. I was the one that stepped up and wrote a letter and communicated with the DEQ and recommended that rather than a blanket permit, that we have site-specific permits. And because of that, they have decided to do that. So that's using what I'm able to do in the executive branch as both lieutenant governor and governor to make sure that if that moves forward, that it's done again with transparency and science. The last thing, and I think we all need to understand this, is that at the end of the day, the pipeline is an interstate project. It comes from West Virginia, goes through Virginia, and into North Carolina. The final decision of the pipeline of whether that happens will be determined by FERC, not by anybody in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So these are all important things to take into account as we move forward. So I appreciate the question. Thank you.